Okay, so I am going to be working through the Advanced NLP with Spacey's course and just seeing what I think about it, see if I've learned something new. I've used Spacey before in some of my other NLP projects, but I only think I've touched like the surface of it. And so I'm kind of interested in seeing just how much deeper it can go. And so while I'm doing that, I'm also just going to record it so that you guys can see what's going on as well. And we're going to see, let's go back. How many chapters? So I have to go through 4 different chapters of it. And it was made by one of the developers of Spacey. And so hopefully it's really good. I think it's Inez is how you say the name. So hopefully it's really good. And I like that she put time and effort into letting us know exactly what we're missing with Spacey. So we're going to start at the beginning. Introduction to Spacey. Right, so let me pull up. I have my VS Studio. I'm going to Control Shift P and I'm going to just create a new Jupyter notebook. All right, so we have this NLP bucket. I'm going to make sure I'm in my analytics one so that I'm not installing new packages on my base environment. And there, it starts off with her trying to let us know what is a Spacy kind of blank NLP English object. And this is going to be, I think, just how you do it in general. I actually never bothered to understand what that was. So I don't have Spacey installed, duh, because it's a new environment. I've dumped everything. So we're going to conda install, oh, actually, we're in PowerShell. We need to switch over to, let's go to a command prompt. And in the command prompt, we're going to conda activate analytics. And apparently I can't spell activate. Now we're in the right environment. I'm going to cd, actually I don't need to open the file. I just need to install in the environment. So I'm going to conda install Spacey. You know what, I'm going to switch keyboards. I don't like doing tutorials on actual keyboard. I have a let's see if this works. Yes, it's good. I have a mechanical keyboard that's just more comfortable to like type on. That nice sounds and stuff. So we're just going to let this install so that we can have a Spacey environment. Spacey installed in our environment. And Spacey has tons of languages. Just FYI, you can look at their documentation to find out about that. Click yes. All right, there we go. And so now if I come back and I import Spacey, it should run. Yep, there we go. And then we're just going to install English. All right, and we're just going to create an NLP object. And apparently I still can't type or spell on my fun keyboard. All right, so then we have a document. So create by processing a string of text with it. So I can process basically a string of text automatically. I didn't know that. No, we're gonna say I eat pizza. Who wants to follow to the tutorial? Like exactly. I eat pizza. Okay, and so man, automatic tokenization. You know, I really should have, reviewed updates to stuff that I've used for years instead of just using it the same old way. A long time ago would have saved so much pain. So what is this doing? Just in case, you might not fully understand. So we created a document and we're taking each token. A token is kind of a word or a punctuation or basically the spaces, I guess is the best way to say token. And you can tokenize for other things, but it's basically on the space and it's just going to pop out each one individually. All right. So tokens are a document. I like to think of it as a big list because I can often convert from it to a list. And so what she's trying to show here is that just like you do in a list, and you can choose like, let's say if I say doc at 0, it should give me I. Yeah, and if I say doc at 1, it'll give me E. Well, you can save that position. Remember, list indexes start 0 to, anything. It's not all things start at 0. Some things start at 1. I'm pretty sure NumPy starts at 1. It frustrates me. But what she's doing is, you have the doc, you found the position, and you save out one specific token, and then you can print that specific token text, right? And actually, I probably should name this chapter 1 so I can have a different notebook for each chapter, but we can go and do that later. All right. So what does span do? Slice from document with is a span object. So just like you do list splicing where you want something from one point to another point, you can splice the text. And so here we saved I. So I'm going to need a bigger word because she's using hello world. She's using index 1 all the way to index 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the word eat, which is my index 1. And we're just going to resave it in there. So now eats in there. And we're going to slice it to span that entire object. And so what it should do is choose eat in pizza because it's looking at the word and not the letters. In a list, it pulls the letters. It doesn't, it pulls the letters. So I'm assuming this is going to pull by word, which is much more convenient to deal with than how I've been doing it for the past few years. Man, I guess you gotta just keep updated on stuff. Yeah, so it pulls by word. That is so nifty. Never forgetting that. So the young people sometimes outdo the older because we don't keep up with stuff. Okay. So what this is going to do is it still has some of the, built-in Python, maybe it's in Spacy, but you can check the index, the text, the punctuation. Is it a number? Oh, that is so convenient. Oh, man. Oh, this shouldn't be an advanced course. It should just be Spacey 101. Again, we're updating my skills so that I can work on some more fascinating things. And I've been doing this the long way, like putting this stuff into pandas and this is just introduction, so it tells you how outdated my knowledge is. Okay, so we cost $10 and we're just going to, I'm going to write it out, I think, so I can get muscle memory. And create a list. I want to remember like a noun. That's the most important. And punctuation probably. So let's do those two. Alpha, don't care. But I could do some nifty things with, punctuation. And that's the other thing. I could have read through this and gotten the knowledge that I needed to work on my project. but I want to create a longer term muscle memory, so I suggest you type this out as well. As you're going through. Tedious, I know. You can copy and paste and keep going. So, lifelong. Practice F strings. Oh, actually, it's not F string, it's just a string. That's probably the best way to do it. I'm not going to second guess where she made the whole package. Oh, what'd I do? Come on. Man, so much you can do with booleans. Okay. So, we learned it. Now we have use Spacy blank to create a blank English object. And we're going to, basically, we've done that. So I guess we have to practice. NLP sentence. Oh, I get how this, I didn't even read through it to see how it was set up. So basically, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is, because she explains it and then she wants you to work through it. I like this setup. Not everyone has that setup, and they just keep going, and so I got used to it. So let's do this all, I guess, from memory. So import Spacey, and I'm going to import Spacey, and then after I import Spacey, I'm going to import Spacey blank and English. Yippity-doo. And next we're going to process my document. I'm going to use her sentence so that I don't screw up the rest of the tutorial. And then I'm going to print off. See, I don't find it useful to do print statements. I know how to print token.txt. Yeah. I didn't save a token. No, I didn't save a token. I can just send doc.txt. Let's put it from the last one. There we go. So if I was going to do German, I don't have a German keyboard. But she's basically making you do it for other languages. But I'm not going to be able to type those letters. Or those letters. But that's fun. Okay. Oh, and I can do it right inside of... Oh, I can do it right inside of here. I didn't have to pull up my VS Code. You know? Things are becoming fancy. Alright, Spacey. So in that case, I think I'm going to not work on my own VS Code. Document test, that should have been hint. Oh, they have it binded to a Docker container for you to work in. Fancy! Takes longer. Oh, that took so long. Because we got a pizza and came back. Okay. Spacey. And you do it the same way. It's what they want you to get you to understand. Blank. E. And doctext. Next. Same thing. Actually, I don't see the point in making us do this many times, to be honest. You don't have to beat it over the head. Didn't get after the first one. It's going to be a very long, hard career for you. Alright, next. Document spans and tokens. Alright, so use blank to create the NLP object, process the text, and instantiate a doc object in the variable doc and set the first token of the doc and print it. Okay, well, we're just going to import my package. We're going to do my instantiation, right? That's how to say it. Link my object, basically. Create my object for English. Process my object. And select first token is that 0.0. And we're going to print first token text. Submit. Oh, didn't catch that one. No. I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to splice it. Honestly, I don't see why I need to do this whole part several times. I don't think it's the point of this lesson. There's no point in doing this. If you didn't pick it up already, it probably should be in the advanced course. Alright, now slice. Slices use spans. And then can you return? So I need to span my document. Span. Without the, okay, let's go back, because I don't remember spans because it has nothing to do with actual Python. Well, it has stuff to do with Python, but I just used to do it differently. So if I span, do I run the doc? Yeah, I just do the doc splice. That's what I thought. Okay, I was thinking. Span doc splice. What's my splice? So 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. So you start and end at, it should be included on end 4. Wait. No, I did 3. Then Python, it doesn't include the final one. In Spacey, I think it includes the final one. Alright, and print text. Clickety click. Okay, so it doesn't include it, so I do need to go to 4. I'm redoing the one I did last time. I guess, reading the instructions could help. I need to be on this one. This is where I'm at. That's the other thing about doing it in your own environment. All my stuff doesn't delete after I do it one time. So if you want to keep it, don't do it in this, because if you go to a different section, it's just going to lose what you typed in. So fancy, but I would have just preferred to set up my own environment, so I'll probably switch back because I'm clumsy and the likelihood that I lose more information than this is high. Then I get frustrated. So we'll finish out this section and go back to my own VS Code. I slice for doc trees and RLs without the period. Okay. Two, three, four, 5. Trees. Okay, so it doesn't include the last one. It's not inclusive, just like regular old with splicing. Okay. Now, back to a handy dandy environment that saves things. All right, so let's go attributes. In this example, you will use Spacey's doc and token objects and the lexical attributes to find percentages in a text. You'll be looking for two subsequent tokens, a number and a percent sign. Use the like num token to attribute to check whether a token in the document resembles a number. Get the token following the current token in the document, so +1. The index of the next token in the document, okay, token I +1. Check whether the token index text attribute is a percent sign. Okay. So much to do. Actually, I guess I can't go back up there because I'd have to copy all this. I might have to slow my roll. Okay, so check resembles numbers. So if token is no, get the next token in the document. So in the documents, I'm going to need document first. Token I +1. Token dot I +1. Check if next text equals. Oh, I don't have next token of the text. Submit. I think it's thinking. Oh my gosh, this takes way too long. I might just copy it over. Okay, there we go. Is num is incorrect. Why is num incorrect? Does it need it's a method potentially? I don't need to import Spacey or any of that again. It's at the top of my document. So let's get rid of that. Okay, so let me go back. Syntax is off. Let's go back to intro. No, getting started. I don't know, intro. What is the syntax for this? Now relative to is num. Like num, not is num. Ha ha ha. Me and spelling. Yeah. Should know when it didn't pop up to autocomplete. Okay. Got that. So next, trained pipelines. What does that mean? So what is a trained pipeline? Models that enable Spacey to predict linguistic attributes in context. So departure speeds, syntactic dependencies, named entities, trained on labeled example text can be updated with more examples to fine tune. Okay, so let's do that. Let's get stuff installed. So I'm going to type Python -m Spacey. Download in my terminal. Now you can run this if you don't have a terminal, and we'll see if this will actually run in my terminal correctly. But you can run it with a exclamation point in front of it in your notebook, and it'll install it to whatever terminal that notebook is running on. So there we go. Downloading, and then once we download, we can come back up here, and I'm just going to put it up here. Now they're rewriting over this. Okay. I won't do that. I will maintain the order of rewrite. Cannot install OS access denied. Consider using user. Oh. Okay. I'm not on Linux, I'm on Windows, duh. No, it's an environment though. Access denied. Check permissions. How do I run as admin on a Windows computer? You know what? I don't think I'm gonna bother to find out. I'm just gonna do what I just said to you. And I'm just gonna copy and that should run. And yep, see, installed fine. So next in NLP, Spacey .load, and we're just going to do en underscore core underscore web underscore 7. There we go. Okay. Was that really it? Trained pipelines? Okay. Ooh, I was trying to figure out what on earth. Okay, so she ate pizza. She likes pizza too. That's all I think about. Okay, so we're making a new doc. Equals NLP. She ate the pizza. Right. And then we're just going to iterate over this in a for loop. For token in doc. Print token .txt, token .is. Okay. There we go. Parts of speech. Excuse me. And that will pedantic dependencies. I guess this really depends on the language. So I'm just going to edit this and add to it. Check spell it. Still checks depend. Checks. I did it again. How is this possible? Okay. There we go. And so it gives you further, I guess, dependent objects, parts of speech. Okay, she explains. So noun, nominal subject, she, direct object, determinator. Yeah, determinator. And they map them for you. I guess if they have the language available, they map them for you. But it can. Oh, they kind of map what it is. That's cool. So I'm just going to copy this image and then I'm going to type out the rest. Okay. So for ENT and ENTS print ENT.txt ENT. There we go. And so country, city, states. So, oh, that's cool. They have the definitions built in. Not everyone thinks about that. Like you're trying to figure out what does it actually do and what do I need to make it happen. So if you get this and you need to know what it is, you can just explain it. Brilliant, Spacey team, brilliant. Okay, so practice. What is not included in a pipeline package that you can load into Spacy? Labeled data that the pipeline was trained on, strings of the pipeline's vocabulary, the hashes, binary weights to make statistical predictions, a config. I don't know, binary weights? Am I wrong? They didn't tell me. Submit. Incorrect. I wasn't really paying attention to that. Because I should read all of the text. Okay. Loading a pipelines pre-installed. Perfect. Okay. Process the tips, print the document. Okay, let's do that. I already have the package installed. I'm not going to reload it, the import. I'm going to try not to screw this up. Okay, loading my sentence already. Alright, so now we just need to process the document. So that's going to be doc equals NLP text print doc.text. Should give me what I want. Yeah. Processed it. And what's next? Okay, yeah, predicting linguistic annotations. Okay, so basically noun, pronouns, etc. So same sentence. Now they want us to remember all of these. Okay, let's see if I can make that happen. Token in doc. All right. Token underscore text equals token dot text. Alright, token dot underscore posh equals token dot posh underscore token underscore div equals token dot div underscore, and then formatting. And this one is an F string. Print F bracket. I just have to close. Okay. Token. So it's not. So what it's looking for is doing a little minor loop in here. So I want token less than 12. So words less than 12, I guess. Letters less than 12 potentially. All right. And we're just gonna add some formatting. Less than 10. I want to keep it small. We'll see what it does. We'll see what it does. I've actually never used this before or seen anyone use this before. This formatting. Shows you just how little of a language you need to know to get a data science job. I'm just throwing it out there. Not everyone is this detailed. Formatting token. Not supported. Let's go back. Token. I don't need to forget the colons. All right. Maybe it's spacing. Yeah, it's spacing. Huh, I didn't know you could space it. Okay. Next, we have part 2. And so we need the predicted entities. Let me exit that so I have more viewing screen. Same sentence. We already processed the doc. I'm not going to do it again. So for entity in doc dot in iterate up the entities. All right, I'll check one of the entities for entities. That makes sense because that's standard. Print the entity text and its label. Okay. So I need to print int text and then int dot label. There we go. Text and label. You know what? I'm going to put some formatting on this. Yeah, I want to put formatting on this. Practice that now that I have a new skill. I'm leveling up. I think it's very easy, like once you get the job, to just not pay attention to anything else that's needed. As things upgrade, it's just like, it still works. It still works. Okay. I put my, oops. See, this is what I mean by I'm clumsy. Okay. Int label. Let's see why I need to come here. I'm gonna put that in brackets so it doesn't get confused. Okay, there we go. So it seems like you need brackets around every portion, even if you don't add that, if you do add it on one. Or actually, that might be, because it is a variable, you need to identify that it is a variable. Learning stuff is tiring. Okay, next. We have a new sentence string, and what we're going to do is models are statistical and not always right. Yep, that's true. Whether their predictions are correct depends on the training data. 100% true, and the texture processing. Yep. Let's take as an example. So we need to process the text with the object iterator over the entities, print the text and the label of that entity. Looks like the model didn't predict that. Create a span for those tokens manually. Manually? Manually. Okay. So we have a new text. And so because I have a new text, I'm going to have to create a new doc. So I'm going to have to go doc. I'm going to process this text. All right. And then for int in doc dot int, we're going to print the string. I'm not going to be fancy. Int dot txt, int dot labels. All right. And now we span the one that doesn't identify. So iPhone X is what I want to be called, and it's going to be 0, 1, 2. So 1, 2 doesn't include 2, so 3. It's going to be doc 0, 1, 2, 3. So it includes the one I want to include. And then we're going to print. Can't spell iPhone corrected. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Now the probably just shows solution. Yeah, it matches. Yeah, I don't have to submit anything. Okay, rule-based matching. What does that mean? So why not just regular expressions? Because they're frustrating. Match the doc objects, not just the string. Match the tokens and the attributes. Use the model's predictions. Example: duck, verb, duck, noun. Oh. List of dictionaries, one per token. So if I have a text, iPhone text X, slash lower, I'll match token attributes, lima position, or speech noun. Okay. So let's read. It says match sure does what? So okay, so from Spacey.matcher, import matcher. We're just gonna do this at the top. From Spacey.matcher, import matcher. There we go. We're gonna run that. All right. So once you do that, you can go back down. Available space. So we already have the new pipeline loaded. We're going to initialize the matcher with the shared vocabulary and then add the pattern we want. So they said they want the text where it is iPhone, text where it is X, and they're going to create a iPhone pattern so that it identifies the entity. Oh man, this is great. Okay, this is great. What's the next one? Matcher 2. So you run the match on the dock to get the matches, right? You iterate over the matches, the match ID, the start and the end, and then you span that dock for it. So in the previous one, what did you name it? Yeah, you named it matcher, and they added that pattern. And so because they added the pattern, if you iterate over your matches in that ID document, it's going to give you that because you added a pattern. Nice. So now they have is digit, lower, lower, lower is punctuation. So if you process this, what does it do? It has FIFA, and it says if the attribute is lower, what does that mean? I mean, it made it no. So you fed it the capitalization, right? So FIFA wasn't lower, it stayed. World was lower, and was not lower, and neither was cup. I don't get what this does. Punctuation is true. So is a digit? Yes. Is FIFA World Cup? Oh, so they're finding the pattern match. So 2018 is the digit. Then you have FIFA World Cup, and then you have the punctuation. And so that pattern is found, and it brought that out. That makes pattern matching so much easier. Oh my goodness. Hours spent wasting time because I didn't update my knowledge. Okay. Lima love parts of speech verb. Now I love dogs. And so, oh man, I'm about to get like dangerous. Optional match one or one times. Oh man. So here they want to match parts of speech. I don't remember what those are, but by. So they have the parts, different versions, Lima of by, buying, bulk. And then they have the noun. Optional, you don't have to necessarily have this, I guess, the determinant article. And then match on it. Negation, optional, match one or zero more times, match zero or more times. Oh man, where has this been my entire career? In the documentation. Read your documentation, get updated on it. Things begin to happen when you know. So this text is still valid. And so what I'm just going to do, I'm going to leave that as it is, right? And so I'm going to just do a matcher down here with the shared vocabulary. So matcher equals matcher dot vocab, right? Then create a pattern matching the token set. So we're going to recreate basically what we just did. So pattern equal I don't even remember where that pattern was. I'm gonna have to go back for the think it was text, and then iPhone. All right, and text. And so we're gonna have to go back. I do not remember anything from how it was formatted. So lore, yeah, so exact tokens. I want to match the exact tokens, I think. And so yeah, I use text, iPhone text. Okay, I need to make this capital. I just want the text. I don't care about anything else. Did I miss any other syntax that looks like I might have? So it needs to be in curly brackets. All right, we're going to put them in curly brackets. Okay. Add a pattern to that matcher. So I'm pretty sure this goes matcher add. We're gonna call it iPhone X pattern pattern. And so use matcher on the doc. So we're gonna say matches equals matcher doc I'm going to print matches yes, that is not right. Okay. I think matches might be wrong, but we'll see. Yeah. It says each pattern should be a list of dictions, but God. Syntax is still wrong. So, got a list, text, text, colon, iPhone, comma. I don't know what I did. Okay, let's go back. Let's show solution. Alright. Right, measure. This looks exactly like mine. Huh. So the matcher add is still wrong. Oh, here it is. It needs to be a list. Now convert matcher doc. Oh, it doesn't need to be the capital one. It needs to be the lowercase one that I've already created from the vocabulary. Okay. Whew. And it's saying it has no matches for me. Which is weird. Failed connection. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm trying to write the wrong thing. Okay, so at least I got error messages. Okay, so match your doc vocab check. I got my little dictionary of. Oh, there we go. Cap is the exact text, and I have a lowercase p. There we go. So don't care about that anymore. Next. All right. Writing match patterns. So write one pattern that only matches mentions of the full iOS versions, iOS 7, 11, 10. So more complex stuffs. So we have slightly different stuff going on. So what they want us now is, I'm going to leave that, but we want to set our matcher to the NLP of the loaded pipeline and its vocabulary instead. And so I'm just going to go ahead and copy that over. And I'm going to copy the text over so that I have no errors in what's being asked of me. So we want to look for the full pattern of iOS 7. Okay, so that means I know my text. That one's simple. That's just going to be iOS. Is digit is true, I believe should be the next one because it needs to be a digit. So we're going to have pattern, and we're going to have equal. I forgot mine. There should be a comma. All right, is digit true. All right. Now, we're going to copy what they've given me as to not mess this up. The feeling they were expecting that too. So what is this doing? So it's adding the iOS version match pattern to the document, and then it's finding how many matches were found. And so we should have 1, 2, 3 matches found, and we're just going to iterate over it to clear out all of those matches. Yep, there we go. And part 2, same thing. They want you to find download plus a proper noun. So like it has Minecraft in here, obviously, and WinZip and Fortnite. That should all be included in this final output. So again, what I'm simply going to do is copy this new text because it's pulling from that same pipeline. And I'm also going to copy the provided outcome here to make sure I don't screw up any of the formatting that's expected. Then I'm going to do the next part myself. So pattern over my list, over my bracket. I'm just going to do all that at the beginning. Lima Lima of download with quotes around everything. Alright, next we have part of speech proper noun. I don't remember where it is. There we go. Thank you, directions. All right. we have to do this again. And create another matcher for this section code. It's breaking. I don't know why. Okay. This is the only thing I did different myself. Everything else is the same. Download better matcher doc. Okay, so we're going to do this then. And we're just going to see if it's me or is it the tutorial. It is not me. It is the tutorial. Because NLP, even if I re-download it, it shouldn't matter. Because it's already done at the top of the previous one. Oh, it does matter. Why? What was the last spatial order? That's why my NLP was that text. Okay. Now you know. Okay, last one. Just gonna copy everything to make sure that the previously used variables are not holding that same information. Okay, so write pattern for adjective plus 1 or 2 nouns. Adjective plus 1 or 2 nouns. So parts of speech, this should be adjective, right? Yeah, adjective. And then this should be noun plus, potentially, because at least one. Star is 0 or more, plus is 1 or more. OP, one noun, option. Oh, maybe. So this first one is mandatory, so it has to be noun. This one is optional, and we'll put plus sign there. All right, let's see if that runs. Yeah, there we go. So I'm thinking regular expression, it goes right next to what you're putting it, but they just have this whole optional tag. All right. So that concludes chapter 1, and it only took me an hour to do. Stay tuned for chapter 2.